Hi everyone, and welcome to just hop on and make something type of a video today. I was making these for an event coming up, and I thought, I bet you would like to know how to make them too. So I was looking for, I wanted to keep my papers all the same. So I went through and found all of my black and white papers. So the zoo ones and the rock and roll ones, and I got them out and I cut them to 6 by 6. So I am making treat holders with no glue using 6 by 6 paper. So what you're going to need is your trimmer or something to score with. So this is cut 6 by 6. Now I'm going to put it so that it looks like a diamond. So I've got a point at the top and a point at the bottom. Maybe I should just raise this up a little bit so you can see both points. I've got my paper trimmer here, and I'm putting one point in the cutting trough here and one point here. So they're like that. I'll close this up, and then I'm going to use my scoring blade. No cutting here, just scoring. So I'm going to score that diagonal fold, just like that. And you might not be able to see it. I can, but I can also feel it. Now I'm going to take those points and go over to the 1/2 inch mark. So that is right here and right here. So I've got those points at the 1/2 inch mark, still that diamond shape. I should slide it down a little bit here. Make sure I've got everything lined up again. There we go. And we're going to score again. So we're keeping it in the diamond shape, just popping over 1/2 inch. Now we're going to take those 2 points and go 1/2 inch on the other side. So we'll slide it over. I love our trimmers because we can go 1/2 inch or inch or 1.5 even on each side. So again, I've got my points at the 1/2 inch mark, and I've scored like that. So if you could see, you would see, let me see if it shows better on the other side. No, it doesn't. So we've got a score line right down from point to point, then another score line 1/2 inch over on this side, and a score line 1/2 inch over on this side. Now we're going to take those and we're going to put the opposite points, so we're not those in up like this, and we're going to take the point that is on this side and line it up right, pardon me, we're going to put these points right on the edge of the light gray part of your trimmer. That's at 1.5 inches, like that. And so this point actually is at 2 1/4, but this helps you get everything lined up perfectly. So with the 2 points at the edge of the gray at 1.5 inches and this point at 2 3/4, we're going to score again. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this is going to go over to this side. We're going to put our 2 diagonal points right on the edge again. And then we can double check by making sure this point is at the 2 3/4. And we're going to score again. And that's it. So I'm going to keep it this way. And I'm going to flip it over. So I scored the last score line right there and the second last score line right here. Now my decision is, do I want these to be on the outside, or do I want those to be on the outside? It's your choice, whichever you want to do. I think I'm going to put the guitars on the outside, so I'm going back. So the 2 bigger ones are like that. These flaps here, if you were measuring from the middle to the point, would be 2 3/4. They're the last ones that we scored. So burnish those score lines really, really well. All right. Now we're going to fold so that these pockets, for the moment, are going to be on the inside. So it's the middle score line here. We're going to fold up line up those points at the best we can. It's a little bit bulky. It might give you a bit of grief. And we're going to score like that. So now we have sort of like a house shape. And now we have those other little score lines here. So we're going to come back and score, fold and burnish there. And do the same on the other side. I should have done you a diagram because you really can't see the score lines on the paper, but I'll try and do that later. I was just making a slew of these and thought, why not show it to you? So now what we have, it looks like a little W, like that. And these little pockets are where you can put some little items that you might like. And we're just going to tie it together here, and you can tuck things in here. So I'm going to tie it together. Just bring in a hole punch, whatever you have. So I've got a punch there, and I'm going to slide some ribbon in. I love this combo of ribbon, and it adds a little bit of color. So this is called the Ribbon Duo Combo Pack. It's in our annual catalog, and it is retiring, but it's a Pretty and Peak and Lemon Lime Twist ribbons. And they just really go well together, and they look great with black and white. So I'm just going to run this through like that, bring in my ribbon scissors and trim it up like that. And then, whoops, didn't mean to take the lemon lime away. And then I'm going to bring in my lemon lime twist, and I'm going to tie a bow. Now, sometimes I need an extra hand, and I don't have one around to borrow, so I'm just going to use my tweezers to hold that in place. Then I can do this, just tie a bow, or you could tie a knot, whichever. I'm going to tie a bow this time, live dangerously, like that. Trim the ends. And we've got our treat holder made. We just need to decorate it. So to decorate it, what I was doing for the group that I'm doing, I'm adding an image like this. So this is another piece of paper from that package. Let me just show you what you can put in here before I get any farther. So Ghirardelli chocolates fit in here beautifully, like that. Tea bags fit in here great, and that's one of the reasons I used the black and white, because I could use an assortment of tea bags. Gift card holders work well, so you can always send a gift card holder for Stampin' Up! Like that. And what you can also do is you can put a little something in here. Maybe if you have a little long package of cookies or something like that. So you've got this pocket here and this pocket here, and then you can tuck a little something extra in there too. So this would be great for coaches, for whatever. But let's make this little part as well. So I'm going to bring in this stamp set filled with happiness. It's one of my favorites right now. I'm going to bring in this stamp right here, and we'll ink it up and stamp it. Now we don't need the words, we only need the center image. So I'm not too worried. As long as I have enough, make sure I'm getting all of that on. That's all I'm worried about right now. So I'm going to put that down. And the nice thing about the glass mat, you don't need to, when you've got photopolymer, you don't need to use the spongy surface again. This works beautifully. Don't ask me why. I don't know the science behind it, but it does work. So there we go, just like that. We'll put that out of the way, and we're going to color this. So you can make it apples, oranges, lemons, whatever. I'm going to make these oranges. And I love that the Stampin' Up! Concept artists already give us areas that should be dark. And I'm just going to take my darkest, the blends come in a combo pack, and I'm using my darkest one, and I'm just using dots with the dark right now. And then I'm going to bring in the light and just swirl around and color it. I love the alcohol markers. We had tons of family here over the weekend, and one of the guys is teaching art, and he was just discovering alcohol markers, so he was thrilled to discuss alcohol markers with me. Anyway, now this might be looking a little dark right now, but it actually lightens up a bit as it dries, and you can always go back in and add more color. But I think, oh, I'd like a little bit to look like it's highlighted. So I'm going to bring in my color lifter. And as if the sun was just hitting it, I'm going to swirl a bit here. Now you're saying, I don't see anything happening right now. No, but as it dries, those little spots will lighten up and it'll just look great. And then you can add Wink of Stella or whatever too. I'm going to do just a couple of leaves and a couple of flowers. And again, I brought in... it's either Lemon Lime Twist or Parakeet Party. I think this is Parakeet Party. I'm just going to do it with the dark a little bit in the center like that. And then I'll bring in my light. Now, do you have to start with the dark and go light? Nope. Lots of people start with the light and go dark. It truly is a preference, whatever you want. But it's just a wonderful way to get lights and darks with your coloring. And then I'm going to use fresh freesia on the flowers. You could, again, use whatever you want. And I'm going to add just a little bit of dark in the center of the flowers. And then go with the light. Now, the interesting thing, it sounds like that you're pressing hard, but you don't press hard with these. You barely have to press at all. That's one of the reasons I like them so well, is my hands don't get tired. Now, through the magic of television, I've already colored one, and this time it happens to be lemons. But I wanted to show one thing before I do anything else. What if you had just this shape already and you wanted to hit it? Because it's photopolymer, because sometimes you might take a class from me, and this was one of my classes, and if you didn't have the punch, if I sent you the punched image, could you do this? Yes, you could. I'm just putting this behind so you've got some contrast, and then you can see right through the stamp, and stamp like that, and lift it up, and flick it off, and you can get it perfectly. So there's a little other tidbit of information. I meant to show you that first. Okay, so now we've done our coloring. All we're going to do is bring in our modern oval punch, slide it in, and center it. So we're happy like that. And we're going to put it on here. So I'm going to use dimensionals, and I want to make sure I don't glue it closed. So I'm putting one dimensional on the bottom of here, and then I'm going to put two dimensionals, one on either side of the opening, because I know that this is fairly large. I actually did a test run. I've made several of these, so I think I know what I'm doing anyway. And just like that, we have made this cute little treat holder. What do you think? Do you like it? So here's the one we just made. Let me move this out of the way. Here's the one I showed you earlier. So you can see they're just like that. Great way to use your 6x6 paper. Here is one done with the bee paper, the Be Mine paper, and I just had some bees laying around, so I used them. And here's one I got at a recent event. Now, I have made these before. I've seen them made by lots of people, but this we received at Creative Carnival, and they put a little thank you note in here, and they used the zany zoo creatures here, and then put chocolate back here. So you can see you could actually put all kinds of things in here. So here's my question for you. What other things can you think of to put in these pockets? So that is my little spur of the moment class today. So I hope you give it a try. It's pretty easy to do once you've done one. So take a chance and do it, and do share. What could you put in these little pockets? Take care, everybody, and bye-bye.